Hey y'all, what's up? The news is out. WWE has purchased Evolve. So I'm going to skip the whole. I was going to read an article on it, but who the hell cares anyway? Let's just talk about what they should do from here. Okay, so WWE owns everything Evolve, the name, the rings, everything, tape library, which is going to be good for documentaries and all that sort of stuff. When they want to do interviews, they're probably going to do a couple of documentaries on Evolve, all that type of stuff. But in my opinion, they should not close Evolve. They should leave it open. Now, obviously, you can't do it as of recording right now, which is July the 2nd, 2020. You can't close, well, you can't run shows. That's what I meant. You can't run shows because it's the middle of the pandemic. So you can't run shows. What they can do, however, is when they're able, they should continue to run Evolve branded products. They should just run them on the network. Now, since NXT is now a TV show, they need a new sort of developmental program. They also need a place where workers or the NXT talents that are not TV ready can go and get experience. This is the good thing about Evolve. You also have a lot of older talent that were not going to be signed to NXT or WWE or anywhere else. And those guys just need jobs. So that's a good thing. Sign all of those people, just re-sign them to new contracts, maybe pay them more money, and they just on the job trainers and just let Evolve run as a WWE branded product and have their monthly whatever events either projected onto YouTube or onto the network, usually on the network. And then you can put it as a just have it replace NXT as developmental. That's all you need to do. Gabe Sapolsky can continue running it if that's what he wants to do. You can send Heyman down there to help him. So that's a good thing. Or if you need help running NXT, Gabe could do that. And then you could just have Heyman take over Evolve. You just have so many options that letting the brand die and just absorbing it doesn't really do you any good. Just you can do the documentary on the independent times of Evolve and what the ideas of where it came from and all that type of stuff. Cause I think Daniel Bryan helped form Evolve. Like it would be a good documentary, a good WWE documentary to do. Do that, but when the pandemic is over, go back to running Evolve shows in these small arenas where only a few people can see them, and maybe have the bigger events, have bigger events on the network. That's all you have to do is literally don't kill it. Now the reason why I think they may kill it is because they're gonna want to have their hands on it. But as far as I know, WWE has been kind of dictating different things with Evolve anyway, as far as who they want to emphasize, who needs more work and stuff like that. I mean, they're going to do that stuff anyway. But you have so many talents that are in NXT and in NXT UK that are not TV ready. Hide them on the network and then let the people who are hardcores like me and people like who listen to me and people who listen to people who do what I do. We are the kinds of people who will want to see Evolve. So, and we don't want to see it dead. I certainly don't want to see it dead because people need jobs. I don't want it to die. So Evolve needs to go on, and it needs to go on as a branch of WWE that is the new developmental. Without a shadow of a doubt, Evolve is now WWE's developmental system. Everybody has to go through Evolve because NXT is now the third brand. That's all you got to do. That's literally all you got to do. But what WWE is going to do, 9 times out of 10, they're going to fucking kill it. And it's sad. But it's not necessary. You already have the talent there, right? You own everything. Just contract the same people. AR Fox, all those people who already existed in Evolve. Just say, hey, look, you guys are going to keep working. Don't worry about it. We're just going to keep feeding you talent, and you guys are just going to develop our talent. That's all you're going to do. Gabe or Paul Heyman or whoever is going to come down there and run the show. We're going to put it on the network, so and it's already in dingy arenas and stuff like that. And no, it's not WWE quality stuff. Or, hell, they can move Evolve to the Performance Center. if because now that WWE has learned that they can run shows out of the Performance Center with regularity, just run Evolve shows out of the Performance Center and sell tickets. You already own the building, right? You already own the building. Put some fucking chairs in there, sell people in the Orlando area some tickets, and then maybe bounce back and forth, run up and down the coast. Maybe do help subsidize NXT a little bit with Evolve matches, kind of working as the preliminary guys. Let them do that. They can work that Florida loop that NXT works when they on tour, and then they can just find it. It can work, okay, and it can't be expensive. Just whatever the WWE developmental contract is that would have brought you to NXT, just ship them to the Evolve. That's all you have to do. Just say, look, these are the people we're signing straight for NXT. Now Evolve is going to be, instead of being a mixture of WWE contracted talent and guys that Evolve bring in, it's going to be all WWE contracted talent. So everybody that we sign that is not in here doing drills and everything, just send them. They can work and Evolve. And again, you can run it out of the Performance Center. They could have monthly shows, weekly shows, whatever. And then just let Heyman and Sapolsky and all those guys run it. It's that simple. That's what I think should happen. But I'm already sure that WWE is just going to kill it because that's kind of what they do. Now, I saw a lot of people online saying that they kind of want an Evolve invasion of NXT. And while the idea is appetizing and it sounds okay, again, a lot of those people were not TV ready. Like a lot of those guys were not. There's no reason for people to think that they're a threat to NXT, right? Like in order for that thing to work, you have to have a history of people knowing who those people are and knowing how that system works and how NXT is being invaded by people who you have to know who they are. That's just kind of how it is. And I don't think enough people know Evolve in order for it to work. Now it works for people like us who know Evolve, who know, JD Drake when you see him. But for most people, they have no fucking idea. And NXT is on TV. It's on nationwide TV, cable TV. There is not enough people who knows Evolve product for an invasion to work. Now you can probably, it just wouldn't work. At least not initially. Maybe if you have Evolve as the developmental system and it's established for a year or two, then you come in and you have an invasion. Okay, because that's kind of how it happened. Part of what hurt NXT is a lot of people didn't know what it was, right? So when people wasn't sure what NXT was, and you have Randy Orton talking about it's a school when it's actually a mix of school and professionals, that kind of bothers a lot of people because they're like, okay, what is this? Or like, just to give you an anecdote, my girlfriend was kind of like, are these like students? Like, are these like, the kids of the WWE? And I was kind of like, and when she was telling me this, 40-year-old Finn Balor was on screen. So I couldn't be like, yeah, because, Santos Escobar was wrestling when he was 14. He's like 30 something now. He's not a developmental wrestler, he is. So it doesn't make sense for a 40-year-old Santos Escobar, a 40-year-old Keith Lee, and a 40-year-old Finn Balor to be considered developmental talents. It just doesn't make any sense. So you can't. So you want to get that stigma off NXT. I think that would help NXT if you get that stigma of it being the developmental system off of them and put it onto Evolve. Let Evolve be the developmental system, and then maybe in a couple of years, after people, become used to Evolve existing and knowing that it exists because it's on the network and all that type of stuff, then you can do a proper invasion. But if you're just going to do an invasion of just like flabby guys and people, nobody, and it's going to be just like the ECW alliance because it won't matter because you will have to have people who were involved with Evolve flip like Daniel Bryan. They would have to be like, I'm on Evolve side now because I was in Evolve where I helped start it. And then you have Matt Riddle And then you'll have Austin Theory if he doesn't get fired. Then you have a bunch of other people, you know, who will have to switch sides. So he'd just be just like the Alliance and everything anyway. So you can't do it that way. That's my point. You can't do an invasion because not enough people know, not enough people care, and you run the risk of turning off your audience because people are going to be like, okay, who is this guy? All these people in NXT are pretty much new anyway. You know, people didn't know who Shotzi Blackheart was, and now you're going to just rush in with all these other new people. It's too much, okay? It's too much. It's too much new too quickly. So what you want to do is you want to give people time to get used to Evolve existing. Bring it in as a developmental system, and then over time, you maybe do a Nexus type of storyline where a group of Evolve talents that maybe or people who have been in on the cusp for a long time, waiting to be called up to NXT or whatever, decide to take matters into their own hands and come up to the main roster and take over. But you cannot do an Evolve invasion when people don't know who the fuck Evolve is. You can't do it. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section about my thoughts. Like, share, and subscribe. All the stuff for Evolve is still up on the WWN Live YouTube channel. I checked before I started doing this video. It's probably going to disappear within the week. So if there's anything you want to see, you better get to it now. Thank you guys, and I'll talk to you guys later.